Okay, in the interview for the Hardline music magazine, Joacim Cans, singer of Hammerfall, it is mainly about your new album, Hammer of Dawn. It will be released on the 25th February next year. So the recordings of Hammer of Dawn took place in various studios, so in Denmark and in Sweden. So could you describe your working process from the beginning to the end? How did it feel?
I think that everyone was really anxious and happy to finally do something. I mean, it's been a tough couple of months, I would say, like close to 2 years, sitting at home doing more or less nothing. So it was really great to start recording. And I think this time we got a little extra time due to the fact that we didn't have any tours planned, we didn't have any festivals, there was nothing else going on. So we could focus 100% on the album and also on the songwriting process. I think that we had enough time to fine-tune the details, so to speak. So there's a lot of small, I would say with this album, it's in the details. When you listen to it, there are small changes, going on all the time. But it will take some time before you really get into that. And the drums was recorded in Oscar's studio in outside Gothenburg, and I mean, that went along as planned. The tracking of the bass, the guitar, it was all done in a very relaxed atmosphere. And that's also something I think hopefully you will hear on this album.
Of course.
When it came to the vocals, I of course ran into some problems because I've been working with James Michael over in Los Angeles for the past 10, 11 years now.
Yeah.
But I needed a backup plan because I didn't know if it was possible or not to travel to Los Angeles to record. So I got in contact with Jacob Hansen in Denmark and told him, okay, this is the deal now. Either I go to you with a car because I can't travel to Denmark, no worries, or I'm going to Los Angeles. I'm not sure. I was standing on both feet, not really knowing what to do here.
Yes.
So eventually I decided to play it safe, but I wouldn't say that Jacob Hansen was a secondary choice. I mean, we have two fantastic producers here, and I could either go to Los Angeles, but that didn't work. So let's play it safe. Go to Denmark, and it was a really nice experience to work with someone else. Of course, it took a while to get to know him, and of course for him to get to know me and how I am usually working in the studio. But at the end of the day, I think we got the job done, even though it was a little more stressful, I would say. It didn't come easy this time around. I had to really work hard to get everything recorded due to the fact that we have not been doing anything for like 18 months prior to that.
Okay. And King Diamond has a guest appearance on this album. So how did it come? Who had the idea to bring in King Diamond as well?
The idea came from Oscar, and because there's one passage in one of the songs that kind of, when you hear it, you instantly feel that shit, this would be perfect for King to be part of. Yeah. Since Pontus, the second guitar player, is working with King Diamond as a sound engineer, and also the band, we met King many times. He called him and asked, are you up to just adding some vocals? And he said, yeah, of course, cool.
Good.
Yeah, so he recorded his part in Dallas in his house.
In Dallas. Yeah, and how do you find the lyrics? What's it about? It's always a hard task to find new lyrics. So what are your subjects? Did this COVID crisis inspire you, or were you totally independent from this fact? So what's it about? What are the lyrical meanings of the songs?
Oh, I think it's a bit too early to talk about the details of the album, but overall, I always try to find like suitable lyrics for the music. That the music is saying one thing, and then I need to accentuate. I need to really. I usually describe it as the music and the melodies are the outlines in a drawing, and the lyrics. With the lyrics, I am adding the colors.
Yeah.
To the painting, so you have like an outline of what's going on, and then you just add the correct lyrics. I think it's so hard to describe like the general kind of. It's so many small subjects. Every song is standing on its own. Every song is very, very strong in itself, and there's no. I wouldn't say there's a connection in between the songs, but I also think that sitting at home not doing anything, many times you started to think about your. I mean, I'm not getting younger, neither are you. No one is getting younger. No. We're getting older, and people. I mean, some of my friends, they died during COVID, and like shit, I'm not immortal. I'm going to die too one day. So maybe there are some songs that are actually dealing with the fact that, okay, it's a way to try and cope with the fact that we are getting older, and we just have to deal with it. And at the same time, this is a cliche, but hey, it's now. I mean, life is now. It's right here, right now, today. You should, of course, make plans for the future, but hey, don't wait too long. Don't postpone the things in life that you want to do. Do it now.
Of course, that's a good attitude. So, and there's one song it's called Brotherhood. Could you describe it? What's behind it?
I think Brotherhood, first of all, is like a tribute to the people around Hammerfall, first of all, and that is the fans. This is a way to kind of show some gratitude to the support and love they have been giving us now for 24 years, which is amazing. 24 years.
Yeah.
I didn't expect 1 year, in the beginning.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And also the kind of the brotherhood within the band. I mean, this is kind of when you join a band, you kind of join a family. I think the ties within a band is sometimes stronger than family ties.
Of course, yeah.
Because if I count the hours and days, weeks, years, months I spent with Oscar, I think I spent more time with him than my family.
Oh,
to be honest with you. Because, on tour, in the studio, and everything that we've done. So it's also a way to, connect, the two of us, and also all the past members of Hammerfall. But first of all, I would say it's a tribute, a way for us to show some gratitude to the Templars of Steel, which are our fans.
Okay, and it's also some kind of brother for you as well.
He is my brother of metal. He's my brother in arms. He is, of course.
Of course.
I would say a kindred spirit, because the story, if you go back to 1996, the first time I ever met Oscar, I came down to the rehearsal room. This was my first rehearsal, and I heard him playing a little melody on the guitar, and I heard that from outside. I walked into the rehearsal room, and I just went up to him, and I looked at him, and I said, "Stormwitch, Dorian Gray." And his jaw dropped, like, "Oh, you know Stormwitch?" "Of course I do. That's one of my favorite bands." And he's like, "Wow, mine too." So we met on the same level, because we are true fans of heavy metal music with more or less the same I mean, more or less the same influences.
Of course,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, it's like a brotherhood. So what were the best moments that you have shared in your career with Oscar and of course with the other brothers? What would you say?
Well, with Oscar, I would say the journey so far. I mean, that we've been able to do this for 24 years. That we have had each other in good times and in bad times. We always have each other, and we know where we want to take Hammerfall.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that you have to kind of divide everything into small pieces. I mean, I'm so damn proud that we, as a band back in 1996, were able to score a record deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a band playing the most uncool music of the times, being heavy metal. So that was one of my proudest moments. But then also every step we have taken so far, and now sitting here in the year 2021, being still a band to count on. That we are releasing to be honest with you, I'm not sure if it's album 11 or 12. Maybe
12,
we have to.
12. I counted. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And that we're making music that still matters. That's also something I'm very proud of. The people are waiting out there, and when we go on tour, they still want to hear the new music, and that also makes me very proud. So, there's so many things that makes me proud.
Yeah, and what were the hardest times for you and Oscar and for Hammerfall? Were the hard times in between, or low points, or is it a secret?
Yeah, I think it's of course you're not always best friends. I think we respect each other that much that we can have a verbal fight, and then we can just brush it off, and then we just move on.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think you should. Sometimes you need to clear the how do you say, clear the air, we say in Swedish.
Yeah.
Talk about things and then you move on. And
yeah,
I think it was harder in the beginning, but now when you're older, when you know someone that well, sometimes you just okay, I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna open that door. I'm gonna keep that door closed.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all respect, and I think when you know a person as well as I know Oscar, and vice versa, I know his strengths, I know his weaknesses, and also he knows exactly the same things about me. So I think we should I try to let him, use his strengths to keep the band moving forward, and then we'll keep my strength also.
Yeah.
Because we're, how do you say, I haven't spoken English in a while, so it's. I'm still
I know it. It's my problem as well sometimes.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. And where are the commonalities and where are the differences between the two brothers, Oscar and you? What would you see? Where are the differences and what's same on you?
I think when it comes to the musical side, we are pretty similar, I would say. Maybe I am a little bit more open-minded because I every type of music. I love finding new music, whether or not if it's hard rock, death metal, black metal, or if it's like a symphonic piece, if it's a pop song, or if it's a hip hop song. I try to just keep up with what's going on. I think that's a matter of when you have kids. If they're teenagers, you kind of listen to their music, because at home I can't really put on an old Accept album for my kids. They would just say, "Hey, turn that shit off." So, but it's, of course, as private persons, as family fathers, we are very different, I would say. Not going into any details, but it's I think we have different views on life and all that. And I mean, we're still two individuals.
Okay.
Working towards the same goal. We have the same goal when it comes in the professional way in music. But in life, I think we're two separate persons, and try not to mix that too much. It's really, I think it's very important to try and separate your personal life with your professional life.
Of course. And yeah, do you still have unachieved goals with Hammerfall? So some things that are not reached now?
I think there are always small steps to be made in between each and every album. I think we started on a pretty high level, and we gained like popularity, and then it's, it was this for a while, and now for some weird reason this happened. With the last two albums, especially for the Dominion album. And that tour was amazing. We never played big venues like that before, so that was amazing. So I'm just happy if we can maintain this level that we are on right now, and maybe for some territories actually take the next step. So it's apart from that, of course, there are many things I want to do in my private life. Unfortunately, I decided to start that 2 years ago, but then of course COVID came, so I had to cancel all my plans. So I lost 2 years of fulfilling my dreams.
Okay.
So, catch up now. I need to catch up. Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned it before, the Brotherhood, it's mainly you and Oscar, but also the other members of Hammerfall and the fans. So how hard is it for the other members of Hammerfall to be accepted by the two main brothers, you and Oscar, as family members? Is it hard for them, or especially when a new member came in, was it hard for them? How would you see it?
I mean, I never had a hard time to accept any new member, because we kind of picked the new members ourselves. We knew that who we wanted to have. For instance, when Magnus left the band, the former bass player, first call went to Frederick, because he was playing on the first album, and to us it's more important that we are functioning on a person, like in social, the social side, that you also should be able to have fun after the show, before the show, not only on stage. I think we've seen this in many bands. You have members in the band not even talking to each other. They hate each other. They don't even travel in the same bus. I don't want to go there. No. I'm not saying that Frederick is a bad bass player, but I would say I would prefer to have great personality and a great person, instead of a badass kick-ass bass player he's the best bass player in the world, but he's an asshole.
I understand, of course.
I think this unity, and everyone in the band, they know their place in the band. They know that they are important, and we try to kind of give everyone an important task, not only being the guitar player, being the bass player or the singer. We all have obligations within the band.
Pontus is making the production, I guess. In some ways, he's recording guitars and some kind like that.
And then, I mean, running a band nowadays, it's a business, of course. You need to maintain the merchandise. So Frederick is kind of heads on all the time, checking out the merchandise situation.
Good.
So there are, I think you should involve people.
Yes, of course. That's good. And there's a re-release of Renegade in 2 days, and Glory to the Brave and Legacy of Kings were re-released before. So if you and Oscar are listening to these classic albums today, if they are re-released and remixed or remastered, do you feel sometimes, as parents of an adult child as well, because these were classics, well-known albums, very successful. So do you feel some kind, as not just as brothers, maybe as parents as well, if you see these great albums being re-released?
Well, every song is a child. We usually say it's kind of, what's your favorite song? Well, it's kind of picking your favorite child. That's impossible. As for Renegade, I'm so proud that we managed to remix the album, because I think the remix really makes sense. It's such a big improvement and a big difference from the original, I would say. I'm not saying the original was a bad mix, but with this one, hey, it sounds fucking awesome. And also, every time you do a re-release, you get the chance to re-experience the way you kind of wrote the album, how you recorded and all that. And I can't, it's been 21 years since we recorded Renegade. 21 years. And I can't believe that. So it's at the same time, it's a wake-up call. And here we are again, like 21 years. Oh my God, time is flying. It just disappears like that. So life is now. It's here and now. Focus, focus, focus.
You are not just a great singer and musician, you are a philosopher as well.
Well, maybe when you get the chance to hear all the songs on the album and read the lyrics, you will get a little about this philosophy. I think it's a lot of it in there.
Of course, yes. And there's a tour in the next year, double headlining, Halloween and Hammerfall, co-headlining. That must be very successful, because two very well-known, famous bands in one package, a little bit similar, I guess. So how did it come? Who had the idea for this? It's unusual.
Yeah, I think this is the smartest thing we could ever do. It was the Halloween guys approached us and asked, hey, would you be up for this? And we thought about it and said, you know what? After COVID is over, every band will go out on tour. There will be so many tours happening at the same time. It's going to be ridiculous. I think this is the best way to do it. Two bands, the masters. I call them the masters and the pupils are going on tour together. And I'm so proud that, that they asked us and that we managed to put this tour together. Because there will be, this is the ultimate show for the metal fan. If there's one show to see next year, it's United Forces with Halloween and Hammerfall. I'm looking, this will be so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Instead of Hammerfall going in one bus and Halloween in another bus, fighting for the people, doing different tours, it was so much better just to, let's do this together. Let's go out there and make a statement.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And it sounds very, very successful. And What Up, you did a solo album, I guess, 20 years ago. I guess I remember it. So what are your plans? Do you have any plans maybe for other projects as well beside of Hammerfall? Or you did Warlord, I guess, and one or two solo albums. So what is up with this to pursue some other musical ways? Because you said you have many other ideas, maybe that couldn't be brought into Hammerfall. So are there any plans for other projects as well?
No, not at the moment. I would say I think every project and solo album I did, that was something I just had to do at the time. My latest release, that was back in 2013. That was an album I did in Swedish. Apart from that, I think that Hammerfall is such a joy to be part of.
Yeah.
And it's a full-time job. You need to make plans. You're sitting with the management. You're writing song, going to the studio. You're fixing this. You're fixing that. And I'm having fun at work. So adding something else to it will just take away. I don't want to work too much, to be honest with you. I just want to.
Yeah, of course.
Also, I want to enjoy life. I want to travel when it's time to travel again. I want to, I'd rather sit and read a good book, to be honest with you.
Of course.
Or try some nice champagne with friends and sit there, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a family, they need your time as well, of course.
Exactly, exactly. So there are no plans for any type of solo album or project at this point. At this point.
And when you start such a tour, how long do you have to rehearse for a tour?
Yeah, but now we need to rehearse a lot because we haven't played together since February 2020. So I would say we need a couple of weekends just to to wake up the muscle memory of the old songs.
Yeah,
I think I know. Yeah, still I think I know the lyrics for Hearts on Fire even in my sleep, so that's not a problem.
Of course.
But it's always the new songs that causes problems.
Yeah, of course.
Always the new songs, and
this.
Yeah, and there are some really strong songs on the album that we, of course, have to play live.
And is it hard to find the right set list because 12 albums? Is it hard today to pick up the best songs for creating a great set? Or is it, maybe some bands, they've got the same set list every tour, maybe just added with some 2 or 3 new songs. But how is it in your way?
We try to treat every tour as like a unique tour when it comes to the set list, but you need to keep in mind that there are some songs you always have to play.
Yeah, of course.
Those are the songs the fans want to hear. But then you need to find songs that also moves you a little bit. The songs that you want to play that makes it
of course, yeah.
Then you need to add some of the new songs, of course, because you're out promoting an album. And as long as you release good music, then you can add a couple of new songs in there too. But those songs will eventually be classics too. So you're having a problem because all of a sudden you have 120 songs to choose from, and you can play only like 18, maybe 20 songs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of kill your darlings, what you have to do. There's no problem finding songs to play. It's the songs you have to take away. That is the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem, of course. Yeah. Of course, I understand.
And then, of course, you need to add a surprise. There has to be like a surprise in there somewhere. Like,
of course.
What's this? I didn't expect this one.
Yeah.
Surprise. So it's a balance. It's a balance. Only playing the hit songs over and over again doesn't really make anyone happy. I think that works for a festival. When you play 75 minutes or something, then you should just top your set list and play your like the biggest hits. And
how is the situation in your home country in Sweden? Are you as accepted there like in Germany or in other countries? Because I guess 15 years ago I had an interview with a Swedish band and they didn't expect you so much with such success in Germany. That Hammerfall, they didn't know you as. So how is it in Sweden today? Are you accepted in Sweden as, for example, as in Germany or in other countries?
Sweden was the biggest country for many years. Even though we made it big in Germany, we were even bigger in Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Really? I thought you are. They didn't accept you. That was my impression. So.
I mean, especially if you look at the charts. I mean, I think Renegade was the album that made a big difference because all of a sudden we were #1 in the charts in Sweden with that album. We were #1 in the video charts for the video of Renegade and also for Always Will Be. So all of a sudden we became very popular in a short period of time and also one of the biggest rock bands in Sweden. Now, of course, it goes up and down and up like this. But we still, if you ask, I think Hammerfall as a name is very big. People know.
Of course.
They know who we are. And also since I'm doing other things, I've been doing a lot of radio, TV. I've done musical theater. So people know me. And therefore I think it's kind of a little give and take here that every time I appear somewhere, it's always Joacim Cans from Hammerfall. So oh, Hammerfall, yeah, right. Oh, it's Hearts on Fire.
Very good. Okay, Joachim, thank you very much for this nice interview. I guess the time is over. The next interview is coming. Yeah, thank you very much for your time. It will be brought to the Hardline magazine. And yeah, great success with your new album, forthcoming album, and your re-releases. Yeah, good luck, good health. Until then, thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you. See you in
Bye.
Germany. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.